Hey everyone, so I'm back with another video today. It's a little bit weird. These are some doodles I took at work a few weeks ago. I was super bored and I was waiting for my computer to do things, and while it waits to do things I normally doodle on my notepad, and this time I decided to draw a face without looking at the paper. It was really fun, so I did these ones on post-its looking at actual reference on the computer. Looking at them, they were really weird and freaky, and I thought some of these would make really fun little characters. So that is the idea I've come up with, to see if I can do a blind contour portrait and then turn that portrait into a fun little character. And I started looking on Pinterest, so this is my homepage. I just decided to look at my homepage because it's got a whole bunch of faces on it. And I picked this guy first because he's got a really awesome profile. So this is my setup. I have my iPad in front of me, and you're just gonna have to trust me that I wasn't looking at the paper. So I just kept my eye on the image on my iPad and tried to draw it without taking my pen off the page. And this is what I came up with. So this one here I didn't think was that good because I'm gonna tell you I could actually see the page out of the corner of my eye. So what I did is I moved my iPad a little bit to the right, and then I just looked at my iPad and drew on my sketchbook. So I definitely couldn't see the sketchbook at this point, and I decided to draw a few more just so you can kind of see what it looks like in action drawing them, because I had them on my post-its, but it's kind of fun to see it come on the page like this. So this one here is a great example of drawing the face and then afterwards drawing the face shape in a completely different area. So that one didn't work out very well. So I moved on and I did a few more. And it's actually quite fun to see these because obviously when I'm drawing them, I'm not looking at the page, so I only see the end result. But looking at this, I'm like, what is going on? Like, what am I even doing right now? So blind contour drawing is obviously when you don't look at the page and you just draw what's in front of you. And you'll do this a lot in life drawing classes. So I've done it a lot in the past, and what I'm doing here isn't really blind contour drawing, because in blind contour drawing, the way I was taught it is that you look at your subject and then basically your eye movement is directly linked to your pencil movement. So if your eye moves an inch up, your pencil moves an inch up, and if your eye follows the curve of a body, your pencil follows that exact line of the body. So basically it's like a really controlled, slow exercise. But the way I'm doing it here, I'm just rushing through it, just kind of for a bit of a laugh really. And I also think this would be a really fun exercise as like a warm-up. So if you have a couple of blank pages in your sketchbook and you didn't know how to fill them out, you could just do a few sketches like this as a warm-up, and maybe it'll give you some inspiration like it gave me some inspiration. So I decided to make 6 of these into characters. I picked 3 of my post-its and 3 of my sketches that I drew. So this first one was the very first one I drew looking at a reference, and this is the first face that I thought, that'd be a cool character, like with a really long chin, and she's kind of like got a bit of a cheeky look to her side. And then the idea I had for drawing these characters was basically take the main shapes from the blind contour portrait and not follow it completely faithfully, because obviously there's lines going through the eyes and sometimes the nose is like in a completely different area of the page, but just kind of like take the general shapes and see something interesting in my head and then put it down on paper. So this is what the first one turned out like, and I think it's really cute. And then this one here I thought had a really interesting head, like a interesting skull shape, but her eyes were very wonky, and I actually drew the eye completely wonky like that to begin with, but I erased it and redid it because realistically you wouldn't have your eye that far down on your head. It kind of looked a bit like a Picasso drawing, and I wanted them to look a bit weird but also, you know, like they could realistically exist in a cartoon world. And I'm using a mixture of pencils. I think I'm using the Colorase erasable colour pencils for the underdrawing because they're really light, and then I'm going in with just some regular watercolour pencils on top. These are the Faber-Castell ones, they're my favourite. And I think I need to buy some more soon because I've sharpened them all like halfway. And this guy was my favourite, like my favourite poster. Originally he was a guy with a really long beard, so I drew the beard to begin with and then the rest of the face when I was doing the blind contour drawing, and he kind of looks like a really cool hippie granddad, and I followed the post-it pretty well on this one. It's basically just a tidied up version of the post-it, but I don't know, I think he looks really fun. And then I moved on to my ones that I just did earlier in the video. This one also turned out pretty good, I think. I think the ones that look a little bit more realistic but have an interesting face shape work the best, rather than the ones that have like super weird an eye, you know, next to the mouth or whatever. And one good thing that I did think came from this challenge was thinking about different face shapes, because I've only been drawing faces for maybe a year and a half now. You know, like same face syndrome. I've heard a lot of people talking about that on YouTube, like you get into drawing characters and then they all look the same. So I don't think I'm quite there yet because I haven't drawn lots of characters yet. I've probably only drawn about 4 or 5 of my own, you know, characters from my imagination. So I don't think I have that yet, but it's still good, I think, to practice different face shapes and different ethnicities, different cultures and stuff, to see what's out there and just get some inspiration from every different part of the world. So I think this is a really good way if you just want to draw like a cartoony character and you're not really looking at reference, to kind of think of something more than just an oval, which is what I would think of when I draw a face. And this one here has some very luscious lips. But again, she looks a little bit weird. Like, she doesn't look as, you know, like she would exist in real life as someone else. And I think this one here is probably my second favourite, just because I think it came out the best from the image to the character. Like, it looks like it would be a character someone could design because it's not so crazy. But then also, I think it works quite well with the blind contour drawing that I made. If that makes any sense. Probably not. So 6 characters from my blind contour character exercise that I just stumbled across one day. It was super fun to do, and I probably will do these again in the future, either as little warm-ups, or if I need some inspiration one day, or if I just want to fill up a sketchbook really quickly. And if you want to do it yourself, I suggest filming yourself doing it, because watching it come out on the page is like really fun after. So check it out if you want to have a fun little challenge, and I hope you guys liked that video. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.